Hi everyone, Ruth here. Welcome to my pop-up beach yoga studio practice. This is going to be a 10-minute beginner's sequence for those newer to yoga or wanting a gentler practice. So, sun's starting to come out. I'm ready to start my day. Let's get going. So, to begin, begin in what is a comfortable seat for you. So that could be cross-legged, with the shins crossed roughly halfway. It could be in easy seat with one leg in front of the other. Just see what feels better. Even have your legs out in front if you need to. Place your hands on your knees, and we're going to begin with some breath. So the idea is that as we inhale, we're just going to start to stretch out the front body and lean forward for cat-cow seated pose, and as we exhale, we're rounding. So you can make this quite a small movement as you inhale. As you exhale, it doesn't need to be as big as what I'm doing. Just starting to warm up through the spine, starting to get the breath flowing in time to your movement. So as we inhale, we're thinking about drawing the breath right down into the belly and lower. And as we exhale, we're thinking about squeezing in and up. So keeping some lift through the lower back. So inhaling, filling the lungs, filling the belly, exhaling, rounding, working in time to your breath, and then starting to add some arms to the movement, so reaching in and up as you inhale, exhaling, drawing up and back, inhaling and exhaling. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, it can be a smaller movement than what I'm doing here. You could be more here, or you could be starting to really go for it a little bit more, maybe even lifting the feet off the ground a little bit. As you exhale, squeeze that out breath in and up. Good. So next we're going to bring the toes onto the floor, hold on behind the knees. And again, working with the breath. We're inhaling, lengthening out. Exhaling, gently squeezing in and up. Keep that lift through the chest. Really taking big inhales and exhales. And if this is really easy for you, you could even lift maybe one foot, maybe both feet up off the ground and pulse in that slightly more challenging way. Just see how you're feeling today. One more big breath in, exhale, squeezing in and up, maybe hovering toes to the ground or up, reaching up. We're going to cross the legs, roll over onto all fours, find our way into hands and shoulders for threading the needle for the shoulders. So coming back to that breath to start with, inhaling, stretching out the front body, exhaling, rounding, drawing that low belly in and up. One more like that, inhaling and exhaling. And then coming in to thread the needle, we're going to take the right hand and stretch it up. As we exhale, taking it underneath the body. Shoulder doesn't quite touch the ground, just hovering there. Then inhaling, coming back up, reaching. Exhaling, back down to the ground. And last time to flow like this, inhaling and exhaling. So this time, if your shoulder makes it all the way to the floor, you can rest your head, your shoulder down, back of the hand into the ground, and the left hand can stay on the floor for stability, or if you feel comfortable, you can uncurl the arm. Press the shoulder blades away from the ears, and a couple of breaths here. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, left hand comes back down, coming back to all fours. A couple of cat-cow curls here, inhale. Exhale, keeping that flow of breath. One more inhale and exhale. And then coming to the left side, inhaling, left arm stretches up. You can look down if it cranks the neck to look up. Again, flowing 3 times before we hold. Last round, I'm going to turn around so you can still hear me. Resting the head if it makes it to the floor, the shoulder down, maybe extending the arm up. So threading the needle for the shoulders, a bit like flossing the teeth, but for the shoulders. We don't want to have any build up there, so that's how I like to think of this pose. Take one more big breath in, down to the belly, and exhale. Both hands on the floor, coming back to all fours. We're going to set up for downward facing dog pose. So big toes together, knees out as wide as your mat or your towel. Press the hips back, walk the hands forward, coming into a long child's pose. Just feeling that stretch through the arms, through all the way down to the tailbone. Then coming back to all fours, keep the distance of your hands and knees about the same. Spread your fingertips down onto the floor, press the knuckles down, and then we're pressing the hips high to come into downward facing dog pose. So really bent knees to help straighten out the spine. We don't want to do this. We want to be doing more like this. And if that's too much, coming back to this position at any time is completely fine as well. So from downward facing dog, pressing those knuckles down, fingertips down, maybe starting to shake the head out a little bit, maybe pedaling the feet a little bit. And from here we're going to do some dog plank rolls. So we're going to bend the knees and the elbows, get really close to the ground, inhale, big breath in. As we exhale, we're coming up really high on the toes, and seeing if we can pulse from the low belly, which is nicely displayed here, up. Again, bend, get close to the ground, make some space. Exhale, press really high onto the toes, lift the hips high. One more inhale and exhale. And then from here, if depending on how you're feeling, take a couple of breaths and just rest. Let your body get used to this before you ask for more. Or if you're feeling stronger, then you might want to inhale, exhale, come high on the toes, and then see if you can keep the tailbone long, belly in, and see if you can roll your spine forward to plank. So top of a push-up, body's in a straight line. Knees can be up or down, depending on how you're feeling, how strong you're feeling. We're looking forward. From here, we're going to bend the elbows a little bit, inhale. As we exhale, pressing back to dog pose. So it's just adding a little bit more, and you could keep doing the pulses if this was too much. We're going to do 3 of these, exhaling, using the belly and the thighs to roll forward. Knees can come down, but belly stays in. Exhale, press back. And one more big breath in, prepare, make some space. Exhale, rolling forward, really, really strong through the core there. Knees can come down. Take a big breath in. And exhale, press the hips back to the heels. And this time coming into child's pose. So bringing the arms down to the side of the body, possibly resting one fist on top of the other, kind of one potato, two potato position, and just maybe sway the hips from side to side. Take some deep breaths. Good. So from here we're going to come back up into kneeling. We're just going to stretch out that front body a little bit, so bring the fingertips behind the hips and just lifting the chest up. Stay looking forward, kind of like a retro poster girl position here. Take a big breath in, stretch out the belly. So exhale, we're going to make our way back to all fours. Come back to that finger tip press on the ground, knuckles down. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Feel free to keep the knees bent if you feel like your back rounds when you straighten them. And then from there we're going to walk the feet up towards the hands, bringing them roughly 2 fists distance, so hip distance. Nice big generous bend to the knees. Just shaking the head again, keeping it nice and loose, playing around a bit here. And then bending the knees even more, touching the ground as you inhale. As we exhale, we're going to straighten the legs just a little bit, so we start to wave the spine into a forward bend. One more like that. Inhale, bend, relax, soften. Exhale, forward folding, straightening the legs just a little bit more. And then inhaling. Bending the legs. This time we're going to press the feet really strongly and start to roll up all the way up to standing. Keep those feet pressing, knees bent, belly in. And when you're ready to reach the arms, you can inhale up. Bring the palms together, exhale. And see how you feel.